Hi, I'm Naturopath Dr. Julian Neil, and today I want to talk about something I see in my practice often. What women are missing when they think their hormones are imbalanced. Women often come in the office saying things like, "My hormones feel off." And the truth is, they're not wrong, but they're often asking me the wrong question. Because when we think about hormones, we tend to think in isolation: estrogen, progesterone, thyroid, cortisol, pregnenolone. And then we start to run labs and we look for the highs and lows and we try to fix those unbalanced numbers. But hormones don't operate independently. They are truly simply messengers, responding to signals from the brain, the nervous system, the gut, and your lived emotional experience. So the real question is not what's wrong with my hormones. The real question is, what is my body responding to? So today I want to explore this on all three planes: physiological, mental, emotional, and of course, the spiritual or energetic plane. First, on the physical plane. Hormone fluctuation can simply be a stress response. Let me explain. Hormones are regulated through what we call the HPA axis, the hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenals systems. This is your stress response center, and it operates through two primary branches of your nervous system. First, the sympathetic nervous system. This is your fight or flight state. It's in the amygdala of the brain. And then the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest, repair, and restoration state, which is in the prefrontal cortex. So when a woman is under chronic stress, even subtle, ongoing stress, the body shifts into sympathetic dominance and prioritizes survival over balance and reaction over response. The cortisol rises, and then what happens next becomes critical because the body begins to steal resources from other hormonal pathways. Your progesterone drops, your thyroid function slows, and estrogen can become dominant or dysregulated because the body is no longer in a state of restoration. It's in a state of protection. So, what looks like a hormone problem is often a nervous system imbalance, a body that has lost access to its parasympathetic healing state. And then no amount of supplementation fully resolves that if the underlying signal remains. Second, let's look at the emotional and psychoanalytic plane, the stress we don't see. Now we take it one level deeper because stress isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's psychological, and it's relational. Many women are living in a constant state of over responsibility, people pleasing, internal pressure, and never feeling like they can truly rest. So over time, the body internalizes that as I am not safe to relax. So the nervous system stays in that sympathetic activated state even when life looks fine on the outside. And this is the blind spot because you can eat perfectly, take the right supplements, exercise, but if your internal world is still in fight or flight, your hormones will reflect that. Emotionally, this then becomes a pattern of adaptation. We then override signals, push through fatigue, we disconnect from intuition, and then slowly the body begins to speak even louder. And third, finally, we're at the spiritual plane, seeing the body energetically as this messenger. And this is where we step into something even deeper still. Because the body is not malfunctioning, it's simply trying to communicate. Hormonal imbalance is not the problem, it's the message, a signal that something in your life is out of alignment with your truth, with your pace, with your needs, your boundaries, and your authentic expression. So when we override ourselves long enough, the body then begins to speak even louder through fatigue, through cycles of being off, through mood shifts, and ultimately through burnout. So instead of asking, how do I fix this? We begin to ask, where am I not listening? How do we actually heal? Well, we have to find integration across all those three levels. Healing hormones requires a shift on multiple levels, not just biochemical, but neurological, emotional, and energetic. Our physical support requires we stabilize blood sugar, support adrenal function, get nourished with key nutrients like magnesium, methyl B complex, omega-3s, often glandular support. We have to support gut health and clearing the detox pathways. Our nervous system reset needs to begin shifting from this sympathetic fight or flight into the parasympathetic rest and repair. We create moments of true rest, breath work, meditation practices, journaling, reducing overstimulation, or rebuilding a sense of internal safety. Our emotional awareness then dictates we begin to recognize patterns of our overgiving, we set boundaries, and allowing space for our own needs. And finally, our spiritual realignment is done by returning to presence, connecting with what feels true, allowing ourselves to live in alignment and not just function. Here are my final thoughts. Your hormones are not failing you. They are often adapting to you. And when you change the environment internally and externally, the body responds naturally, intelligently, and beautifully. It, like all health, is a holistic practice. So if you've been feeling like your hormones are off, take a pause and ask yourself, what is my body really trying to tell me? Because that question changes everything. And I hope this awareness guides you back into balance, back into alignment, and back into yourself.